Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Spotlight. Oh, guess who's in the spotlight tonight? You're in for some excitement. The Fog. And I call them the Fog Band because, well, you are a band. I have 3 members of the Fog with me tonight. Steve Lopez, who really is, I consider you, I guess, the founder, the leader. You know, well, you're all leaders, but yes. You know what I mean. I'm just saying that. All right, Steve, because you're the first one I met. And then over here, next to you, we have Rich. Hi, Rich. And on my left is Brian, the guitar player. Great. It's nice to meet all of you.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. And Rich, you do the vocals mainly.
Correct.
And Brian, you play the harmonica. Steve.
We can trade.
That would be a mistake.
Yeah, we're going to have to improvise. I can tell we're going to have to improvise. So that's right. You're playing the harmonica.
Yes.
And Brian, you're the lead guitar player and also sing? Or
Sometimes.
On
a bad day.
On a bad day.
One time we got him to sing.
And Steve, you sing too.
Yes, I do.
It's great. And between all of you, you have a lot going on. So who's missing in the band tonight?
Our drummer, Stuart, and our bass player, which is Dan.
Well, it's great that I have you 3 because I know we're going to feature you in a couple of minutes with a song that you wrote, an original. And then in the meantime, I want to ask you how you got started, all of you together. How did you end up working together?
We started about 7 years ago together, and we came together as a group then. But we've been playing, of course, individually in other groups before, right. And it just happened. We searched for a guitar player. We got Brian. We searched for Rich, a singer, and the rest is history.
And you all come from different areas in the Bay Area?
Yes, I come from Sunnyvale.
I'm in Dublin.
Oh my gosh.
East Bay, so I have a little bit of commute.
Yes, you do. And
I'm on the peninsula. Yeah, we got it covered.
Oh, yeah. And I'm from San Francisco, and I love your music. So there you go. And the other members are from this area?
From Milpitas and from Sunnyvale.
Great. Well, you get together. How often do you rehearse?
About every 2 weeks.
That's amazing. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. And so were either of you in a band for a long time separately, or did all of you kind of dabble?
Well, I think we've all been playing separate bands for, I've been playing since I was 12. My first band was 16. I'm sure your band, same way.
I've been in bands since I was 14 or 15, and so some of them for many years, some of them last about a week. It just depends. It's like a job. Some work, some don't.
That's right. Oh, but this is really interesting. And Steve, you've been playing, how long have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing since 8th grade, but I haven't been in a band as long as these two have been. I've barely started performing with a group probably from maybe less than 20 years ago, but.
Well, what gave you the incentive to get into music?
I always loved music. My parents were really into the music, and they always played music, big band sounds, and classics, and some Mexican music, of course, mariachis and that kind of bit.
Now, how did that happen? Are you from Mexico?
No,
your parents?
My parents. No, I'm 3rd generation here. My grandparents were from Mexico.
That's great. And you've been back?
No, I haven't, because most of my family's here down in Southern California. So there's generations there, so that's kind of where we stayed.
I think Spanish-Mexican music is wonderful, and of course it lends itself to the guitar and, well, to every instrument. Yeah. So you started playing the harmonica by ear?
Yes.
No lessons?
No lessons.
Is there such a thing as getting lessons?
I did try to take lessons for one time, but I ended up teaching the teacher.
Oh,
yeah, so it wasn't.
Did you still pay?
Yeah. Well,
sounds like a song.
Yeah,
that's a good one. And that brings me to another question: does the band do covers only?
No, we've got about 5 originals now. In fact, we're working on finishing up an EP to release. So that's why if I sound tired, I was recording last night.
Wait, a new CD?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, I have the older CD then right here in my hands, right?
Yes.
Correct.
And how many cuts are on this? I can't see without my glasses.
There are 3.
3. Oh, it's a shorty. So the next one, what is the title of the next one? Oh, what is the title?
Musings of a Lunatic.
Oh, well, it sounds very interesting. I would want to buy it and just listen to it because of the title. In the meantime, we have the other CD. I want to show that again because I whisked on by here. The Fog, and that's the name of the CD, and I love the photo. Isn't that a lighthouse in the area? Is that? Or
I'm not even
no?
sure where that is, actually.
I was wondering.
But
It's
we'll say it is.
beautiful. All right, we'll
Yeah.
just pretend. But it fits, the name of the band. I mean, I loved it when I heard The Fog. It was very intriguing sounding. So we're going to play a cut from this CD right now. And the first cut, track 1, is what?
If you want to get to heaven.
If you want to get to heaven. And this is available through your website.
I never read it in a book, I never saw it on the show, but I heard it in the alley on the weird radio. If you wanna drink of water, you got to get it from the well. If you wanna get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell. I never felt it in my feet, I never felt it in my soul, but I heard it in the alley, now it's in my rock and roll. If you wanna know a secret, you got to promise not to tell. If you wanna get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell.
That is a great sound. I love it. Rock and roll. And that's a cover
Yes.
tune. And, I'm sorry, I've been so much into show tunes and everything else. I was saying, where did that come from? If you,
It's an old Black Oak, Arkansas song.
really,
Yeah, it's out of the
had-
70s.
It is great. It's just terrific. Now, I noticed that they flashed some gigs on the screen, but I wanted to bring everyone up to date. You said you just landed something that's you're going to be playing locally somewhere.
Yes, in Half Moon Bay and Main Street, San Benito House. We'll be there April 14th
Oh,
from
great.
7 to 10.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. I've got to come down here. Now, San Benito House is a restaurant?
It's a restaurant, and there's a deli next there, and there's a bar right there next to them. Kind of
Oh, it's a fun place, too. I mean, it
fun.
really is fun to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that great? So, I mean, you have to do some more gigs. I think it would be great to get you booked at a place where I do the open mic, which is at the Italian Social Club. In fact, Steve, you were the one that was sitting in that night. And I know we're going to show a video clip afterwards. But in the meantime, now that we have 3 of you talented musicians here, I remember asking, could we do something live? And you said,
Yes,
yes,
we can.
And what song are you going to do now while Brian is getting his guitar ready? What are you going to? Tell us about the
Good thing I
song,
brought
Rich.
this.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you happened to bring it. This is
Just
perfect.
coincidentally.
Never know.
It's a song called Nadine, and it's basically roughly based on a character out of a Stephen King novel, The Stand. So,
Oh, what is the name of the novel?
The Stand.
The Stand. Of course, I never read Stephen King. He's kind of blood and gore, right?
Yeah, and I don't like the genre, but it's so detailed in the way he writes, so
It's captivating.
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard
how the
he's-
character developed out of this.
That's great. And so Nadine is a character from that novel.
Mm-hmm.
And let's listen to the song. And you wrote it?
Brian and I, yeah.
You did together? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
great. Well, let's hear it. Nadine.
hot were her lips. Meaningless message, just like her words. Excited to see me, but she wouldn't admit. Funny how she teases with the right little twist. There is that she'd worried she'd give it up. Veiled promises that she exudes. What's the story, Nadine? Turn out the cheater in between promise and tempters and a truth and the lies, maimer and healer and all its disguise. What's the story, Nadine? What's the story, Nadine? What's the story, Nadine? So cold grows the desert, so cold. What's the story, Nadine? Goddess and temples I don't want to believe. Goddess and tempest, all the truth and the lies, maimer and healer and all its disguise. What's the story, Nadine? What's the story, Nadine? What's the story, Nadine?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Applause, applause, applause.
Thank
See?
you.
Thank you.
We don't have enough people in the studio to go, the big roar of the crowd.
You can just clap.
Oh my gosh, it's just fantastic. I love it. I wanted to hear more. And I can hear harmony in there too, right?
Yep,
Do you
there
have
will be.
some? There will be harmony.
Yeah.
And this is going to be on your new CD.
Correct.
Yes.
And again, the title of the new CD when it comes out.
Is Musings of a Lunatic.
Now, why did you come up with that title? Which one of you is the lunatic?
That's debatable. But the real reason is because he wrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
So look at him.
Look at you.
What can you say?
Come on, Rich. You've got to. I mean, I don't know how you came up with it. Is that from another novel?
Actually, no. It was a response to an email. We were thinking up titles, and the lyrics I write are all over the place. So, I said, they asked, well, what's some of the songs, some of the lyrics, and I said, well, all they are is ravings or musings of a lunatic, and then it stuck.
Like, that's perfect.
That's perfect. And a muse, I always love the idea of a musician saying, and she's my muse. And I'm always trying to think, well, what does that really mean? Inspiring? Mm-hmm. That's what it means, right?
Yeah.
So,
one of our songs is actually a song called Attitude. It's actually about the whole creative process, and it talks about the muses, and sometimes it doesn't always go that well.
well, tell me about that. I mean, you write some songs, and you've written some songs together.
Yeah.
And when you have to come up with melody and lyrics, that is difficult, isn't it?
No.
No?
Not really.
Have you been writing all your life?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
What-
Rich has this notebook full of lyrics So I think in some cases we'll come up with something musically and you'll figure out how to layer it on
Yeah.
top. In other cases, I'll come up with something musically and he'll
great.
create something fresh from it. So it's sort of an interesting thing. You try to figure out how to match these pieces up. Either they pre-exist and they come together, or something inspires the other piece. So
Yeah.
who knows?
It's
That is
it's just
great.
fun. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
the
it
whole
is.
The whole
process is fun.
process.
Yeah.
It's really great. Now, how many covers do you think you do? Like, if someone said, well, I want to hire you and hear some 60s music or some 70s music and a few originals, would you be able to fill the bill doing
I
that?
mean, we probably have 40, 45 songs total now, most of which are covers, and they range from like 50s rock and roll stuff to more modern
Oh, that's
stuff. So it
great.
kind of runs the gamut, but yeah, there's a lot there. It's really hard to remember all that stuff.
Well,
you know?
no, it isn't. I've been in the business 45 years.
Well, maybe
I have
it's just hard for
500
me,
songs.
but-
No, I'm kidding. It is hard. I've had to go back and review some lyrics because, you drop material.
There's tools now.
Yes, there are tools.
Cheats with an
There are-
iPad. He's
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, I love
I don't
it.
get an
You
iPad.
do.
He
I mean,
does.
why not? You have. I mean, you have to. I see iPads are used everywhere now. I did get one at Christmas, and I feature putting it on top of my mic stand and using it sometime. But it's really very, very, very helpful. But and the other thing is the business has changed. When I started in the business, when I was one, there were gigs every night of the week.
25 years ago.
25 years, yeah. There were gigs all over. And there's 6 nights a week, 7 nights a week I'd be working. And now, 7 hours a month. It's sad. But the demand for music is not there because that brings me to another question. You can't make a living really in music like I used to. And I think that's really true for a lot of musicians I know. They teach or they have other jobs, which I would like to know about your other job. Brian, what is your other job that keeps you dressed so beautifully? Love your shirt. And that was really a positive comment.
Thank you. I took it that way. Thank
Good,
you.
because I love that
I'm
plaid
not used to
shirt.
getting complimented on my clothes, so I was like, not sure what to say.
The image is great.
thank
But,
you.
what do you do other than music?
So I work in marketing.
Ah,
So I've been
great.
doing that for a long time.
So
you're
helpful.
right. So that is good, kind of pays the bills, and then when we do this, we can kind of do what we want.
But you know what? You can use your technique in marketing to help sell the band.
Sure.
Right?
Yes,
And CDs.
that's true.
That would be that's what I would be doing. Use those tools and get on
That's
the
a
phone.
good
and-
idea. I should do
Isn't
that.
that good? Oh, great. Maybe you can do my marketing. Who knows? But we all end up doing this. I think it's just part of the business today. You sell yourself.
yeah.
Your music sells you if more people hear you, and then, whatever works. So you have your own company. You work for somebody?
I work for somebody. I work for a tech company, and I've been doing that for a number of years. So you're right. I mean, what I like about that part, that my job is there is creativity involved as well. So I get to
Yes,
do that during the
yes.
day, and then the rest of the time I get to do some of this too. So
Is this your passion?
yeah,
This is your passion.
yeah. I mean, this has been with me
have
since I was little. So if I could play all day, I would.
And did you study guitar?
So actually, I
lot.
started, the first instrument I learned starting about 5 or 6 years old was piano, which I did not like at the time as a little kid. My mom made me take piano lessons, and so it was this fight between my mom and me to learn to do this. But eventually I came to realize that was great because I learned how to read music, I did recitals, so I kind of learned all that stuff. And then for some reason I took up trombone in school. But eventually I discovered that sound, that guitar sound, and that really connected with me when I was a teenager. And I loved it because it was loud. My parents didn't like it. So it was
So
not
you
only,
loved it. We always do the
Yeah,
opposite.
So
right?
because it upset them and I liked it, it was pretty motivating. And the other thing I realized is girls thought it was kind of cool too.
Of course.
And there was nothing cool about me, so I needed something to make me cool.
Oh
so.
boy, don't they regret it now? Look
Yeah,
at you.
I don't know.
I mean, the guitar, you fit the guitar so well. And I heard you play already. We're going to, definitely, we're going to talk more about that. In fact, I think it's great that you're playing like this. And I can see you working at a place down here called the Legion Club. Have you ever thought of that?
I've actually sat in there an open mic there with
With my
with
friend
Stan, yeah.
But I think you could get a gig down there too on a night because they do feature bands every so often.
Sounds
every
fun.
so often, yeah.
Sounds fun.
Maybe I should become a booking agent.
You have lots of good ideas.
Yeah, that's my new. And so, Rich, what do you do?
I work as a plan administrator and employee benefits, basically. So
Got any for musicians?
No. What do you think I work in it for?
I know, isn't that the truth? No, because the musicians union used to, I'm a member of Local 6, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of benefits.
Actually, a company I used to work for administered those benefits, and they administered the Film Actors Guild, and
Yeah,
so
of course.
various unions. So
I'm a Screen Actors Guild member too,
ah,
an AFTRA. But up here in Northern California, it's very tough to get really work as as a lead or a featured performer. I started in LA in this business anyway. Did any of you go to LA ever? No? And
try to avoid it.
Well, it was a great place. When I lived there in the 70s, it was terrific. And that's where I really began traveling out of LA with an agent, a couple of people, it changed. I mean, that's it. It's all changed. So you have a good day job. Now, how about Steve?
I work in a manufacturing outfit. I do inventory control, mainly working through their computerized system. Keeping them straight and keeping the books. Clean.
Yes. We talked about something else. I think, Rich, when we talked about your day
'cause-
job, how about we talked about something
Yeah,
called
the
a cassette
company
tape?
works for at one time SAP used to make cassette tapes. And they were one of the
yes,
when they were
yes,
big,
yes.
you'd go out and
Yes.
buy the big case of 15 to record all your songs on it, and
What are those things?
I don't know.
Yeah, the cassette tapes. They're great. And you know what? You must still have some, right?
Yeah.
All of you.
somewhere.
But you have to look for a player. It's very difficult to find a cassette player. Mine just broke.
Yeah.
So I have to, and boom boxes. I haven't seen one of those in a while. I mean, we're becoming
miss boom boxes.
extinct. I do miss boom boxes. You could carry them into the classroom. I teach music part-time, and you can carry them with you wherever you go.
Yeah,
Hey,
I miss
listen to
those.
this. And I still use my boom box, but thank goodness it's still working. I wanted to also, when you sat in at the open mic at the Italian Club, this was about, a week ago, Steve?
No, it's probably about 2 weeks ago.
And I was so impressed because I didn't know, I hadn't really, heard you live, but I knew that you were very talented and could do music and all that. So Steve walked into the open mic and it was great. And you sat in with backing some singers. And I filmed it on my iPhone. So could we take a look at that video back there? Because it turned out great. And it shows how great it is with the harmonica. And another singer. We missed all the applause you got. You were terrific. And, the singer there is someone who comes to my open mic often. And I'm inviting all of you to come to my next open mic, March 22nd. And I do it once a month. And I just think it would be great for everyone to hear you. But accompanying and filling in like you did, Steve, with the harmonica is an art. And you did it by ear.
Yes.
Because I don't know if you knew that song. It's a standard, but
I probably did. I don't recognize it right now, but all that music was really, really good music. Brought back memories.
well,
Steve's got a great ear.
yeah,
Great ear.
I can see that, because you just picked up everybody when I said, and I asked you, it wasn't that you just jumped up with your harmonica. So in between is salad and your entree.
Yeah.
But
Salad.
I mean, it was perfect. The harmonica is a great instrument. People forget, I think, how really great it can be filling in. Yeah, I would like to invite you all, as I said, to come up to the open mic and to sit in. In fact, I'm trying to preserve that concept because people do love to sing. And when I panned parts of the room, you can tell there was an age group there. They're all over 55 for sure. So I don't know if they'd let you in, but you know,
For more reasons than one.
yeah. No, but it is a group of people that know show tunes by memory or standards from memory. You know, nobody's reading their iPad or their iPhone. Isn't that too bad? But it's an art. And so I'm thinking of doing, this is all about me for just a few seconds here. I'm thinking of doing a documentary on what happened to piano bars. Do you remember piano bars, anybody? Mm-hmm. Do you really? Do you? Because you do? Do you remember going to a bar where there was a piano player? You'd sit around the piano.
When my wife and I started dating, there was a piano bar right around the corner, and we used to go down there.
What's the name of it? Do you remember?
It was Patrick's, I think it was the name of it. And then they shortly after we started dating, it closed down.
But you had nothing to do with that.
Well, we probably
you were
closed it down
supposed
a
to
couple
keep it
times.
going. No, I'm joking, of course. That's the problem. They've all disappeared. So I'm doing a documentary. I'm working on it now, and to try and talk about how valuable it used to be for people to come in and sit and just sing. It's a great way of socializing. I just want to thank all of you for coming today to the show, and that I look forward to hearing you. When is the next gig? Is again? Tell us.
April
Steve.
14th at San Benito House. It's in Half Moon Bay.
And
on
what
Main
time?
Street, from 7 to 10.
7 to 10, and people can come and have dinner and listen to the music.
Yes.
And
It's good
dance.
food.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm
And
so
drinks.
glad. And drinks. Oh, great. I'll be there. I hope to be there. No cover.
No cover.
No cover out there. Can you believe it? You don't have to pay anything to hear this wonderful music. Well, I'm going to try and be there. Okay, and that's April
14th.
after, when are taxes due?
Next week.
Next day.
boy.
The next day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, get an extension. Just go. It doesn't matter. And I want to thank everybody at PCT for letting me do Spotlight and to keep it going. So you out there, if you tune in and happen to see the show, remember to please keep tuning in. And my name is Kathy Holly, and I look forward to the next show. We have some exciting guests, some other musicians. Eric Sylvester, he's a ukulele player. Yeah, we're going to talk about the uke. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time on Everybody Together Spotlight.
Right.
Okay, let's rehearse that again. Next time on
Spotlight.
Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Hey mambo, mambo Italiano. Go, 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 you mixed up Siciliano. Hung your Genovese to the mambo like a crazy with a hey mambo. Don't want a tarantella, hey mambo. No more a mozzarella, hey mambo. Mambo Italiano. Try an enchilada with the fish and bacalao, then a hey bunga. I love how you dance a rumba. Take some advice, paisano. Learn how to mambo.